Hello, welcome to the Journal Misfitland again. Today we are going to make a junk journal out from old books. As you see, I have some different books on my desk, so let me begin with the criteria what I am looking for when I am making a junk journal. I have some old books what I found at home and in old bookshops. One of the books is a Hungarian poetry book, this first one, and it is from my childhood. It is a really old one, and what I am looking for in this book is that I would like to have a book for this altered book junk journal, which I'm going to make today. A book which is soon. So this old book is actually soon. If you see it here can be seen that it is actually soon. So it's going to be a good choice. But actually, as I mentioned it before, it's from my childhood, so I don't have a heart to cut into it, so let's see how the others look like. This book is an old one from Germany, and as you see, it's already taped, so it's not really a good choice because the pages are really old that the feeling, if you touch them, you're not gonna like to write on them because they are really old and you can feel that the wood pieces they are just coming out. So it's a nice one. You can use the images as well for ephemeras, but it's not a good choice. But the cover I'm definitely going to use for a journal for small boys, because it's always a problem for custom-made orders to find some really good covers for boys. Let's see what I have in my basket. This book is also really old and it's already rush, so you cannot use it, but it's also soon, so maybe I'm going to use the pages for making pages in the junk journal, but for an altered book it's not going to be good because it's really old. Let's see what I have on my desk. So the next one is this not so old novel, which would be okay, but the pages are glued to the spine. It means that they would fall out easily if you glue them together or if you put some collage on it. As you see, you can easily tear them out. Just I'm going to show you. I'm tearing out of one page and you can see that how easily it could be done. So no, it's still not a good choice to make an altered book for me today. This one is a really cute book with this umbrella on the cover, but the spine is really small, so I have to consider that as an altered book I'm going to put many ephemera and art journal pages I'm going to create in this altered book journal, so it's definitely not going to be enough. This is also a Hungarian one. The pages are really thin, so this is also a reason not to use it. It's an old one from Hungary, from Budapest. It is also sewn together, but the reason I am not going to use it is because of its thin pages, which are not suitable for my project. And I have another book. It's a German one. It has quotes and some nice images, but as I'm going to show you, this is also just a glued spine, so the pages are coming out really easy. I'm showing you, but the images are really nice, so I'm going to use some pages from this book, definitely in my altered book. And last but not least, I have this tale book from Pumukli. It is also soon. The pages are quite thick, so I think this is going to be my choice for today's altered book junk journal. And let's just start to make this book into a journal. If you're liking what I am doing, please come with me down the memory lane and let's start it. To alter this book into a bullet journal or a junk journal, I have to take out quite many pages from the signatures, and that is what I am going to do right now. And after I did that, I'm going to glue 2 pages together so that I'm going to get a little bit thicker page, which are going to be useful for making some art on them, a mixed media art, or just glue some bullet journal pages on it, or just create some pockets. As you see, I already have started this book, and I just cut a window into it. So let's just start and tear out the pages and make the base for this altered junk journal. The torn out pages I'm going to keep because they are going to be a really good base for ephemera. Now that I have fewer pages in the book, you can see that we have some space in the spine. So it is going to help us to fill later on this altered book junk journal. Now let's glue the pages together. I am going to use this Uhu glue stick for it. As you see, I realized that I wanted to keep this picture from Pumukli as he is hanging from the lamp. So I just glued another piece of paper under the already glued book page, and then I'm going to cut it to the size of the original page, and with this method I could save the image what I wanted to keep, because this image is quite reminding me some of the adult coloring pages, and it's always a good thing to have some coloring pages in your junk journal. With a masking tape, which I always have just in case on my desk, I'm going to straighten the page which just I glued into the book. And as you see, I always make the masking tape a little bit thinner, and I am just gluing down this page at the spine, so to be sure not to fall out from my book. That's it, and we are already ready with our first two glued pages. You see? All I have to do is to find the next place where I took the pages out, and I'm going to glue them together. Unfortunately, this is happening to be this window, which I'm going to leave as it is, because I have something in my mind that I'm going to laminate some flowers, some dried flowers, and I am going to put these laminated flowers into this window. So as you can see, I just went on in the book and glued together the third two pages together. I found that some pages wanted to fall out from the book, so I just used the other remaining piece of my masking tape and I just glued the page into the book and make sure that it's going to stay there. If you don't have a bond folder, you can use your scissors, the back of your scissors, and the remaining masking tape you just have to cut down, and that's it. As you see, I am using a spare page. Under the page is what I am gluing together, not to glue together the whole book. And I am creating a pocket now, a side pocket. That's the reason I changed the glue stick to the normal glue, which is my favorite one for this project. And you see, I just made a pocket on the side. Later on, I'm going to come back and cut a half hole into it. I just waited a little time off camera that my pages are really dried, and then I made this half pinch so that it's going to be easier to put something into its bucket. The next one, I am going to make it upper pocket, or the pocket which has its hole from the upper side of the page. And this was the rhythm which I used through the whole book, that one pocket from the left side, one pocket from the upper side. Let's just scroll into it and see how it looks like. As you know, my misfitians, that I am always learning as I go. I try to make some corner pockets, which turned out really cool. And if you are familiar with this corner pocket thing, that's not gonna be a newbie for you. For me, it was really a surprise how they turn out. And later on, I'm going to decorate them, of course. And it was not so boring that I'm always having side pockets and upper pockets. So that was the reason I made some of them also into this altered book. As I was ready with gluing the pages together, the last but not least work for me to mend the spine. As you see, it's already very old and rough one, so I decided to go with a really new one and to keep the original spine to make some ephemera later on. And I just had my masking tape with myself, and I cut out the original spine and glued a piece of masking tape on it. And this was a really good solution to bend and mend the spine of my altered book. I wanted to decorate my spine with some really nice materials, textiles. So I just looked for some old textiles, what I had, and I had some jeans, pieces of old trousers, and pieces what I just got from my friends, what they not use anymore. But I didn't really like the idea of having these jeans on the spine because it was just really darkish, which I don't want didn't want to have. So I decided to go for a little bit lighter piece of materials, and it was the first choice, this textile. And it was okay, but not the best one, because it was really light. And I decided to go for this old skirt, and the red part of it was a good solution, so I used that. Okay. The next step is to cover the inside front pages and the inside back pages of my book. So I'm going to choose some scrapbook papers to use them. I would love to use these ones, but they were really small. So let's look for some nice cartons from my other scrapbook papers. I have this one, which is really nice and glittery, but then I decided that I'm not going to go for this kind of papers because Pumuckli doesn't go with glitter as you see a kobold. So I just decided to use this jungle style from this scrapbook paper block, because you know a kobold can be hiding somewhere in the jungle or somewhere in the forest. I don't know if you are not living in Germany or in Europe. Maybe you don't know this tale. This tale is about a kobold, a small creature living with carpenter in Munich, in the capital of Bavaria. And you can visit the house where this film was shot. Actually, the Pumuckli is an animation part of the film, and it was actually drawn in Budapest, in the capital of Hungary. So when I was a kid, we could just go into a small tobacco shop and we could just buy some Pumuckli images, which was sold from the film factory in that days.
So
I
it
trimmed
turns
the
out
papers with my Fiskars
I went
paper
for this
trimmer to the
jungle
size of
papers.
what I needed, and from the leftover scrapbooks I made some pockets for the inside covers. Et voila! This is how our altered book Pumukli Junk Journal looks like. I think this small junk journal turned out really cute, and I hope you enjoyed this video with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and hit the small bell icon. I got a lot more to show you guys. See you next time. Bye bye. I was Viola from the rainy Bavaria. see.